You guys, this is a really exciting time to be an LA Kings fan. They are beating everybody, good, bad, and in between. And the Dallas Stars, like it or not this season, they are really good. Up until a couple of days ago, they were the top of their division. They were beating Chicago, they were beating everyone in the Central. And if you guys actually look at the standings, which it's January, mid-January, this is probably the time to actually start doing that. The Central Division is outplaying the Pacific Division by a lot. Like, if we're in the Central Division, we'd be maybe third. But as it is, we are top with, I want to say we still have 12 points ahead of our next opponent. So the Stars are second in theirs, and that is amazing. They have won some really great games. They have a great goaltender. They have Patrick Sharp, who used to be on the Chicago Blackhawks. They have had a phenomenal, somewhat unexpected season. And this was the perfect game to showcase that the LA Kings are really, really good at what they do right now. They are pissed off about letting things go last season, and they are not letting this happen. And it could have very, very easily happened this game. To start off the first period, it took us 6.5 minutes to get our first shot on goal. They were completely dominating the neutral zone. We had, I don't think we had any controlled zone entries for the first half of the first period. I mean, they were all dumping and chasing because we just couldn't get the puck in the neutral zone. So we had to dump it and then get a line change. And then by that point, the Stars had it again, and it was all Stars for the majority of the first period. They scored about 3 minutes in. Really slick shot too, and Jonathan Quick literally started trying to punch the ground. He was so mad at himself for letting that one in. It was a little bit on Quick. It was a really good shot. It was a very fast shot, very well placed shot, and to be honest, his defense was not helping him out. I mean, he had a whole wide empty space to shoot into. So the Stars go up 1-0, and they're completely dominating every aspect of play until somewhere along the way, about halfway through the first, the Kings get their first power play of the game. And they score on it. Vinny Lecavalier. Lecavalier, there's an L in there somewhere. The French is weird. But he has 3 goals in 6 games with the LA Kings. This guy came here to prove something and to prove that he can go out on top as a champion. And I'm loving him for it. It was a gorgeous power play shot. This shot was, it kind of happened twice, where everyone on the play was just mixing up the angles at all these different, and so Lehtinen had absolutely no idea where the puck was going to come from. So it goes, from Muzzin to McBain to Lecavalier, and he shoots the first one, and the Kings manage to control the rebound, and they do this awesome tic-tac-toe thing again, where it just changes all these really bizarre angles, and Vinny just absolutely slams it past the goaltender. I mean, it was a hell of a shot. I wouldn't want to be a goaltender standing in front of that puck because damn. So the Kings are tied, and it's starting to even out a little bit. I mean, the Stars are still definitely dominating the speed of the game, but they're not controlling the neutral zone as much as they did, and it's going a lot better. And in about 16-ish minutes, Nick Shore gets called. Whatever, it's fine. Because about 41 seconds after that, and this is something I've literally never seen before ever, Lehtinen gets called for delay of game, illegal play in the trapezoid. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen, but he comes out and he plays the puck in a space that the goalie's not supposed to, and suddenly we're 4-on-4. And the shots that the Kings are getting on the 4-on-4 are much better quality than the Stars are getting, which, again, is completely the opposite of what was happening in the first half of the period, because their first shot on goal, wasn't even a chance. It was Toffoli just kind of knocking it, straight into Lehtinen. And so anyway, the Kings are getting much better chances, and as the 4-on-4 expires, solid zone time with the remaining power play, and it's 4 seconds after the power play ends. So it's not technically a power play goal, but the guy who came out of the box had absolutely no chance of being able to be involved in this play. So it's really a power play goal, and it's Drew Doughty. And again, it's a gorgeous slap shot from the point. Just absolutely slams it past Lettinen, and the Kings are up 2-1. But don't celebrate just yet, because like 30 seconds after that, they're going to do that thing that the Kings do oh so well, and that is give up a goal. So we end the second just as sloppily as we started. 2-2. Lecavalier has, I think it was like 6.8 seconds, I think, they played in the at the end of the first of his penalty. And so the Kings go into the second, killing a penalty. And they did it well. They came out, it was almost a completely different game going into the second because it was very even. I think shots on goal were 9 to Dallas and 7 to the Kings. And they were all much better scoring chances. It was a lot cleaner. The neutral zone was kind of up for grabs for anyone who wanted to take it. And the Kings, I think their biggest selling point in the second is that they managed to slow the Stars down. And that really, really helped keep the play even. They came out a lot less sloppy. I don't know what Daryl said in between the first and the second, but the Kings came out really wanting it a lot more than they had in the first and being able to keep up. So the one big thing that you're going to see in the second is Jonathan Quick doing his Jedi magic. That man is the most flexible man I've ever seen outside like a circus with gymnasts. It's amazing. That breakaway really could have been the turning point in the game, and he didn't let it. He completely shut this guy down. And it really wasn't anyone's fault that he had the breakaway. The puck kind of escaped into the neutral zone, and he was just the closest and the fastest to get to it. So kudos to Quick for doing his job so spectacularly, keeping the Kings in the game. So we got to the third period, and again, it's looking kind of like we might get some 3-on-3 overtime. It's looking really good. And then the Kings do what the Kings do so well, and they get the third goal of the night. Milan Lucic. Lucic. I'm going to get his name right. Something about the Slavic names I can never pronounce quite as well as Lecavalier. The French and Italian's a lot easier for me. Anyway, Lucic gets the third goal of the night. Turns out to be the go-ahead goal. And that one's just as gorgeous. A lot of good puck movement, moving up to it. Jake Muzzin, I believe, gets the assist on this one. Possibly the goal before. Either way, that puts him at 8 points points in the last 8 games, which is coming up on a LA Kings record. The most is 9 by a defenseman points in straight games, which is really impressive. Good job, Jake Muzzin. The Stars keep trying to attack, but the energy in the building has swung so far to the LA Kings side. The crowd is completely behind them at this point. You've got Chris Sutter on the dance cam, always shows up in the third period. You'll see that at the end of the vlog because he is the first star every night at Staples Center. And it's just a beautiful thing to see, and there's something about him that totally gets the crowd revved up, and the Kings are just playing so much better, and they're feeding into the crowd's energy, and the crowd is feeding into their energy, and it's super exciting to be there in the stadium. Jonathan Quick is just pulling out stop after stop after stop. That's just gorgeous. And 2-ish minutes left. There's the empty net, and the Kings manage to pull it off. They don't manage to get the empty net goal, but they keep the Stars from being able to do what they need to do to tie it up and go into overtime. And it's just exciting. The Stars were a really good team. They may or may not have deserved to win this game. They certainly at least deserved a point. So the fact that the Kings are able to pull off such a good win and such a tight win just makes me really, really excited for playoffs.